2,32.
Allora faccio io. 6.
Normale, non è di gro.
Abbiamo visto la macchina.
Me lo dici primi di settembre, magari come stai, sarà male. Vai. Coccodrillo come sta?
Hello. So many of you have been asking for another Italian language lesson, so I thought I would do this one on going to the market. It's one of the most pleasurable things to do in Italy with all this beautiful produce, and you'll often find in a square, in a piazza, and you want to converse with the locals because I find it's one of those few occasions in which the person has time to hear you stumble with your Italian. They have time to make a few little jokes or sort of tolerate your poor Italian. And so whereas in a hotel or with your accommodation or even perhaps in a restaurant, they're very busy. So, a waiter is not exactly got 10 minutes to wait while you fumble around and try and find the right phrase. I find that at a market, they're a lot more lenient, a lot more patient, basically, because they're just sort of standing there most of the morning, and it's just one of my favorite things to do in any country, but particularly in Italy. You've always got some beautiful ambience with like a fountain and a piazza, and you can see all the local life, like the little signora with her dog and the man passing on his bicycle. So at a market, the pace is a little bit more leisurely, and I find that generally there's a little bit of time to try out some of these phrases which you might need a little bit of time to work up the courage to say to a real Italian. Speaking of real Italians, there's one just off camera here planting pomodori.
So we don't need to go to the market.
Yeah, exactly. I've written out all my text and Guido just checked it off, so you can be sure that there's an Italian that's looked all over everything that you're about to see.
If you're doing a mistake, it's a mistake that an Italian could have done. So.
Yeah, but I have tried to include a spectrum of beginner, intermediate and advanced phrases, so hopefully there's something in here for everyone. Let us begin. When you arrive at the market in Italy, up until midday, sometimes even a little bit after that, you can say buongiorno, good morning, and that's the most polite. Buongiorno, you cannot go wrong with that. Don't say ciao, buongiorno, it's much more polite. And then what you'll find, what I find really annoying is that in these phrase books, if you go to at the market page or a shopping or whatever, they'll just give you one phrase, but there are about 17 different questions that this person could ask you, basically just to say, do you need some help, or can I help you? If you haven't heard it before, it can throw you a bit right from the beginning of your whole interaction, and then you lose your courage to speak to a local. So I'm going to give you as many variations as possible on can I help you. So you might hear the first one, which is not as friendly. Well, it is friendly, but it's just sort of a little bit more robotic, which is just prego, which if they're just in a rush, they might just say prego, which literally means please, but is more like the meaning behind it is like, yes, go ahead, like tell me your order. So prego. And you might hear posso aiutare, posso, can I, aiutare, help. If they want to be more precise, they might specify who they're speaking to. So, posso aiutarti, you, informal. Posso aiutarla, which is the formal, the polite.
Posso aiutarla?
No, grazie. Posso aiutarvi, which is you guys, plural. Sometimes I always put you guys. You guys I don't like. It's very colloquial in English, but that's just so that you understand that it's you plural. So these are the different things you can hear with posso aiutare. You might hear serve aiuto, serve, which is to need, aiuto, help. So we have aiutare, which is the verb to help, and then aiuto is just the noun help. So serve aiuto, need help, and again it could be ti serve aiuto? Do you need help? But you just want to be listening out for those two words, serve and aiuto, which is basically, is help needed. You might also hear mi dica, mi dica. You can also hear this over the phone sometimes, which can throw you off a bit. Mi dica is the formal way of saying tell me. It sounds so abrupt when you to an English-speaking person, mi dica, but it's very polite. It's just very professional, and you'll find it in a lot of situations. And it just it literally means you tell me, but it means more like yes, go on. What can I help you with? The next variation you might hear is se ha or se hai. If you formal, if you informal. Bisogno di qualcosa, need something. Bisogno, need, qualcosa, something. Bisogno di qualcosa. And then there are so many different endings to this. It could be dimmi, tell me, which is informal. Sono qua, I'm here. Basta chiedere, just ask. Or it might be non esiti a chiedere, which is very polite. Don't hesitate to ask. Non esiti a chiedere. Chieda pure, which is formal, and chiedi pure, which is informal. When you hear pure, it means like by all means, like go for it. Feel free. Okay, that's my interpretation of it. Wouldn't you agree, Amore?
See, it's something that hasn't got a specific meaning in the sense that it's more like, yeah.
There's not a direct translation in English, but yeah, it means by all means. Yeah, ask away. Or you might hear per qualsiasi cosa, for anything at all, sono a disposizione. Now, disposizione literally means I'm available, but that's not what it means in Italian. It's more like I'm at your service. I'm here, happy to help. And yet another variation is se posso essere utile. Se posso essere utile. If I can be useful. Fammi sapere, let me know, informal, or mi faccia sapere, let me know, formal. Now, often I'll see Facebooks say, I'm just looking, which you can say, but I think that in that case, it feels to me a bit rude because it's like, oh, yet another tourist just looking and you're not actually going to do business with them. So I prefer to say, because it's generally my intention to buy something, is that I'm just undecided, just to give myself time so that I can give, because even when I'm thinking of doing my grocery shopping, sometimes I am undecided because I'm thinking about the meals and everything, and so that you don't feel rushed, you just want to give the person some time, but let them know that they don't have to start speaking in English to you. They might see you looking like with a furrowed brow and think, oh, she doesn't understand Italian. But this way, if you just say, I'm just undecided, like I'm still thinking about what to get, then they understand that it's okay to speak in Italian, but you're just trying to decide between the fennel and the aubergine. So to say this, you would say grazie, sono indeciso if you're a man, or sono indecisa for a female. Sono indecisa su cosa prendere. Sono indeciso su cosa prendere. I'm undecided about what to get. Grazie, sono indecisa su cosa prendere. Grazie, sono indecisa su cosa prendere. Grazie, sono indecisa su cosa prendere. Thank you, I'm undecided about what to get, what to take. If you are truly just taking a look, you could say, grazie, sto dando, I'm giving, solo, only, un'occhiata. Un'occhiata is a look, the noun, un'occhiata. Grazie, sto dando solo un'occhiata. Now, you've said that you're undecided, so they might... Hang on, there's someone speaking off camera.
Sorry.
Now, when you've decided, or you look like you're ready, they might look at you and say, pronto, or pronta. So pronto for a male, or pronta for a female. Ready, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, now let's test your fruit and vegetable vocab. So you want to start by saying, I would like. Now, be very careful about how you pronounce this word, because most foreigners get it wrong because they don't roll their R's enough. Hello, we just happen to have a live Italian here.
Hello everyone. So what's the word?
I would like you to say would like.
Vorrei.
Vorrei. Oh. Vorrei.
No,
And then say how a lot of times Americans, Australians will say it. Vorrei.
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 Vorrei. No.
Vorrei.
Vorrei. Vorrei. Vorrei o potrei avere. Potrei avere. Can I have? Could I have? Could I have? Potrei avere is the conditional of posso. Funghi, mushrooms, carciofi, artichokes, melanzane, aubergines or eggplants, ananas, pineapple, albicocche, un melone, due meloni, zucchine. Remember with zucchini as well, if we say it in English, we'll say zucchini, but it's like, it's got that little...
Vorrei delle zucchine. Zucchine.
Zucchine?
No zucchine, le zucchine sono
Sì. So,
cattive per natura, se le zucchine non sono buone.
they're un po' mosce. Yeah, don't say zucchine, zucchine, zucchine. Would you like to come over and say, give us a zucchine?
Vuoi delle zucchine? No, le zucchine non le ho trovate dal the green come si chiama?
Just say it into my chest.
Zucchine.
No, say it naturally.
Una zucchina, due zucchine.
Come up and say, I'd like some zucchine.
Salve, vorrei delle zucchine.
Okay.
Va bene?
Yeah.
1 chilo, 3 chili.
See, hang on, we're not there yet, we're not there. Insalata. Now, I find this is another one where if you're just an English speaker, you might think, okay, lettuce, or you're thinking lettuce leaves, like the rocket and spinach and mix of lettuce leaves. You might think, look up the word for lettuce, which is lattuga, but I find I'm more commonly hearing insalata, which literally translates as salad. But Guido uses it all the time. Oh, let's get some insalata. He doesn't mean let's get some salad. He means let's get some lettuce leaves for the salad. So if you see...
Green
leaves.
Green leaves, yeah.
Green leaves. So, yeah, and then you can obviously specify and say if you want rucola or something. But if you want insalata, yeah, it's not a whole pre-done salad in this case at the market, in this context. Okay, today I'm going to teach you about some. I find some to be so useful, and you're interrupting my
Pomodori.
fantastico. Pomodori, plural, pomodori. Okay, so some is very useful because you may not know. Do you know exactly how many cherries? You're not going to go to him and say, hi, I would like 32 cherries, thank you. Oh no, make that 37. So you would like to say, I would like... Quiet on set, please. You would like to say, I would like some cherries. Does anybody out there know how to say some cherries? Some cherries. First of all, cherries. You remember the word for cherries? I'll give you a chance. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ciliegie. 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 Try and break it down. I mean, that's the great thing about Italian is it's phonetic, so you really can just break down each syllable. Ciliegie. No, va bene, bene. Sì, mezzo chilo di ciliegie, per favore.
Tra la cornetta e il durone qual è il meglio?
Fammi dare anche i pinoli.
Quale vuoi? Può assaggiare, ti va?
Io quelle le conosco, quelle...
La Liguria c'è solo questa bella?
E quello che vuoi lo passo.
You say, I would like some cherries. How do you say that? You would like delle ciliegie, delle ciliegie. Now, if you're wanting to say some with any noun, you just have to add di and combine it with the article. So for the plural, this would be di combined with I or gli or le. So I pomodori, dei pomodori, gli avocado, degli avocado, le ciliegie, delle ciliegie. This translates as the tomatoes, some tomatoes, the avocados, some avocados, the cherries, some cherries. Keeping in mind that these are all fruits that we can count their quantity. If, however, you are opting for something which you can't count, that might be like bread or water, then you would again want to say some. You put the di with the articles il, lo, l, or la. So il pane, the bread, del pane, some bread. Lo zenzero, dello zenzero. The ginger, some ginger. L'acqua, the water. And if you're wondering, l'acqua is abbreviated there because you don't say la acqua, that would sound strange. So l'acqua, dell'acqua, some water. La frutta, della frutta, the fruit, some fruit. Okay, so you can try it out. Say some peaches. Do you remember how to say peaches? Pesche, so delle pesche, delle pesche. Una pesca, due pesche. Not to be confused with fish, okay? Very different things. If you were wanting a peach and you got fish, you would be disappointed. So, una pesca, un pesce. Look at the difference in the spelling. Pesca, pesce, pesce. Dei finocchi, delle fragole, some strawberries, dell'uva, some grapes. Grapes might get you a little bit confused. You're like, what's that? There's an A on the end. That looks like it's singular. Yes, it does, but that's just, grapes are just one of those annoying exceptions where it's uva. Giusto, amore?
Yeah, non si dice uve.
Yeah, so don't say uve, say uva.
Vorrei dell'uva. Quell'uva. Le uva no.
L'uva.
L'uva.
L'uva. L'uva. L'uva. L'uva. So, L apostrophe. And then once you have decided which fruit or vegetables, they will then ask you the quantity. So they will say quanto, how much, or quante, quanti, okay, which is how many with the feminine or the masculine. How much works for something that you can't count, like cheese or bread. Quanto formaggio, quanto pane, and then the quante, quanti goes for fruits and vegetables that you can count exactly how many. So, quante pesche, quanti pomodori. Quante pesche, quanti pomodori. And you could say un chilo for a kilo, duetti, duetti. It might sound very fast, duetti, because they join the two E's together. It's 200 grams. If you're like me, you don't exactly know how, you don't know off the top of your head the exact weight that you want to get. So you might just want to give as they're pouring them into the bag, or as they're getting handfuls of the fruit, you might just want to say un po' di più, un po' di meno, a little more, a little less. Or you might just they might just take a bunch and put it on the scale, and they might just say così, like this. Or you might like to answer them giving them an idea of how many people are going to be eating, so that they can help you decide. So abbastanza per una persona, due persone, quattro persone. Enough for one person, two people, four people. Abbastanza per una persona, due persone, quattro persone. You may see nestled in between the oranges and the lemons a sign that says non toccare, non toccare, don't touch. It's very rude in Italy to just go up and grab a bag and help yourself, or even just start grabbing fruit and sort of putting it in your arms, just ready to line up and pay. They prefer to be the only ones that touch the fruit, and only touch the fruit if they, or the produce, if they give you the permission, if they actually say to you, oh look, it's easier if you do it. In this case, they might say puoi fare da te, you can do it yourself, which is the informal. Puoi fare, you can do, da te, yourself. Or the formal version of that would be faccia pure lei. Faccia, you may do it. Pure, there's that pure again. You may do it yourself. You may, it's very courteous. Faccia pure lei. You, by all means, help yourself. And then whether you're in a delicatessen or you're in a shop or you're in the market, you will hear this very, very common phrase, which is a posto così, basta così. Is that all? Or you might hear, would you like anything else in the formal, which is desidera altro, desidera altro. And you can say, a posto così, grazie. A posto così, grazie. It's all good like it is. I'm good with what I've got, thank you. No, basta così. Stop like that. Thank you. No, basta così, grazie. No, basta così, grazie. You may be wondering just how local is this produce, so you may want to ask where it comes from. In this case, if it were singular, you would say da dove viene, da dove viene, da dove viene il cocomero. Cocomero is watermelon, or in other parts of Italy it's anguria, but in Tuscany it's cocomero. And so that would sound like da dove viene il cocomero? Jojomero, if you're Guido, jojomero.
Florence is without seeds.
Yeah, and if it's the plural, da dove vengono? Da dove vengono le arance? Da dove vengono le arance? Where do the oranges come from? Maybe they've been trying to oh, you know what I forgot to say? Can I taste it?
Ah, certo. First, most important.
Yeah, and they'll often say that to you. Would you like to taste it? Hey, come over here and pretend to be a stall over with me. Ciao.
Salve.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Okay, sell me your ricotta.
Vuole assaggiare un po' di ricotta? È buonissima, è fresca. Salve, vuole assaggiare un po' di ricotta? È freschissima.
No, grazie. No, try. You can keep going. Don't be like, è buono.
Yeah, no, but the fact is it's so good that you want to buy it.
It's true. And then so you say yes. So
ricotta fresca.
Sì. Bravissimo. Yeah, so the assaggiare is the word to taste. Assaggiare. You say.
Vuole assaggiare? Signorina, vorrebbe assaggiare?
Yes, the signorina would like to assaggiare.
Okay.
Buona la ricotta. Okay. I'll take un chilo.
Un chilo di ricotta per la signora.
See, now if you are asking where the ricotta comes from, so if you're asking about where something's come from, you've already been talking about it or you're indicating, you're pointing at it, then you might just say dove la producono, dove la producono. The la in this case refers to la ricotta. If it were a masculine noun, if you, for example, you were talking about the pecorino, you would be like dove lo producono. Okay, if it's the ricotta, dove la producono, dove la producono. You don't need to say ricotta, you could just say la, and it's understood that you're referring to the ricotta or the pecorino. If you can't get your mouth around producono, it's a bit many syllables, you might just prefer to say fatto. Dove è fatto il pane? Dove è fatto? Where is it made? The bread. And then they'll say, lo facciamo noi, we make it ourselves. Or they might say, lo coltiviamo, we grow it, lo produciamo, we produce it, lo coltiviamo noi, lo produciamo noi. Lei come si chiama? Silvana. Silvana is telling me that now it's the grandparents that are still making the fresh pasta, but generally the younger generations are going to come here and buy it from the experts. Perché voi siete più bravi, ovviamente.
Noi siamo artigiani.
Sì, they're artisans, he's saying.
È una via mediana fra il casalingo, la casa e l'industria.
Sì. Qual è la differenza tra la pasta fresca qua e quella che si trova nel supermercato?
Io la faccio tutte le mattine. Pappardelle, tagliatelle piccole, tagliatelle normali, capellini.
Abbiamo le uova e la farina.
Uova vere.
Sì.
Che si rompono uno alla volta.
Sì.
No, quelle confezionate sottovuoto, vera, farina, semola, eccetera.
Sì.
E ne ripieni dai caseifici.
Ah, wow.
Ricotta
wow.
fresca e fatta ieri.
Ah sì, So this is ricotta that was made yesterday. Tutti ingredienti locali, no? Della zona.
Dove è possibile tutta la filiera italiana.
Sì,
italiana
sì.
E a distanza zero, il
Sì.
meno possibile. Più le uova le fanno qui sarà 20 km.
Sì. So everything is from 20 kilometers around from here. What I want to know is what is the most popular pasta? La pasta più richiesta qual è?
Tortelli.
Tortelli?
Tortelli.
Ah sì? Okay. This is what I love about Italy. I mean, I come to the market and there are pots and pans and secondhand clothes and all kinds of things. But then there's this laboratory where Silvano is in here. This gentleman is in here making fresh pasta. Because you see, today is Saturday at the market. Tomorrow is La Domenica, Sunday, where many Italians will have a big family lunch. And for that, they'll need very good fresh pasta. Unfortunately, he was saying it's only the older generation, the grandparents, who are still making it at home, but Italians will still insist on having good quality fresh pasta. Now, these are full of ricotta, spinach, and the secret ingredient, nutmeg. Very simple, very, very delicious, and they must be eaten fresh. On several occasions, I've found myself, I'll be on the way to go meet a friend for coffee, or perhaps I'll have to run an errand, and I'll see this incredible market and I'll think, oh, I want to come back there and get something, but I don't know how long they're going to be there. So a very useful question is, how long are you guys, or until when are you guys going to be here today? Fino a che ora siete qua oggi? Fino a, until, che ora, what time? Siete, are you guys, qua, here, oggi, today. Okay, so that sounds like
Fino a che ora siete qua oggi?
Fino a che ora siete qua oggi? Or maybe you want to see if they're going to be there tomorrow because you haven't got bags, you just haven't got time. You want to say, are you going to be here tomorrow? Ci sarete anche domani? Ci is here in this place. Sarete, you will be, you will, plural, future, sarete. Anche, also, domani, tomorrow. Ci sarete anche domani? And they can tell you that they're here ogni, which is every martedì, every Tuesday, ogni lunedì, every Monday. Or they might say tutte le mattine, tranne la domenica, fino a mezzogiorno. Tutte le mattine, every morning, tranne, which is except, la domenica, Sunday, fino a, until, mezzogiorno, midday. Tutte le mattine, tranne la domenica, fino a mezzogiorno. You try saying it. Tutte le mattine, tranne la domenica, fino a mezzogiorno. You might want to ask for their advice on how to cook something. It might be a vegetable that you don't sort of eat often in your home country, and so you may want to ask, how should I cook that, or how can I cook that? Come lo posso cucinare? How can I cook it? Come lo posso cucinare? And then he might say to you, or he or she, semplice, saltato in padella con un po' di olio, aglio e peperoncino se vuole. Semplice, simple, saltato, which means tossed, in padella, in a pan, con un po' di olio, with a little oil, aglio, garlic, e peperoncino se vuole, and chili if you want. If you want is the formal vuole, or se vuoi if you were to use the informal. Okay, so this morning what I need to get is a really good pan. One of the most important things when you're cooking pasta in Italy is you want to get a little bit of the pasta water, and then when the pasta is drained, you put it into the sauce, and then you're just going to do this action which is called to saltare la pasta, saltare. And this particular pan you can see it's been shaped in a certain way just so that the pasta can come up here off the side, and you get that lovely action which is fundamental for getting the perfect pasta al dente. But now I just need to negotiate. If you find yourself at a market in Italy, the word you might want to learn is sconto, uno sconto. And this is a discount, and you can always ask for a discount. At first they'll say, no, this is a good price, but you can always try to negotiate a little. So here we go. You might be aghast at how many plastic bags they use, so you might want to bring your own big bag to put all the produce in which case, as they're getting the bags, you might just say, no, può mettere tutto direttamente nella mia borsa o nel mio cestino. You can put everything straight into my bag or into my basket. So that would sound again like può mettere tutto direttamente nella mia borsa. Può mettere tutto direttamente nel mio cestino, in my basket. I might add here that just remember the difference between busta and borsa. So una busta is a disposable bag. This is a plastic or paper bag that you might get at a supermarket or at the markets, whereas una borsa is more like your personal bag. So just remember that if you're asking for a bag, you're not asking for una borsa, you're asking for una busta. Una busta also means envelope, but in this context, in this setting, it's understood to mean a plastic or paper bag. Then it gets to the price, and this can sound like, let's give you some examples. 7,50, 750. 15 tutto, 15 for everything. 15 tutto. 3,20, 3,20. You may not hear the and in between, so it just will sound like 7,50, 3,20, and that's 3,20. In Italy, they're always asking if you have loose change, and this would sound like spiccioli, a spiccioli. They'll say, a spiccioli, do you have any loose change? I spent a lot of time living in Rome, so there they always used to just use abbreviate it to spicci. Although Guido, hello.
Yes? Not Guido, the Italian vocabulary.
Yeah.
I believe it's more a dialect rather than a colloquial.
Yeah, but in Rome, I was almost every day I was asked spicci. If you're on holiday, you may not have loose change. You probably just have a big €50 note, in which case I think it's polite to apologize because it's a bit hard for them to change that sometimes. So I like to say, I'm sorry, mi dispiace, ho appena fatto il bancomat, ho appena prelevato. I've just made an ATM withdrawal, and that's why I've got all this big wad of cash, but no spiccioli. And then you come to the end of your interaction, and you've been probably saying, grazie, and then you want to just say a final grazie. You can say grazie ancora, thank you again, because perhaps you've already thanked them when they've given you the money back, and you've thanked them when they've put the stuff in your bags, and then you just want to say grazie ancora, thank you again for everything. This has been an amazing market experience. You can hug them and wave goodbye. No, but it's actually, I joke, but the reason I'm joking is because when you're someone who's learning a language, this little interaction of maybe 7 minutes or something is just so monumental. It means so much to you when you can be understood and when you can manage to buy your fennel on your own in that language. It's just wonderful. And I do find that the other people in the queue, if they hear you trying to speak Italian, they'll start speaking with you. They'll offer you their ideas on how you should cook that fennel. And it's just a really great way to open yourself up to conversation. But this is the beauty, I think, of shopping at a market. There is so much life, there's so much theatre, and there's just a little bit more time to be mindful about what you're purchasing and get excited with other people, with strangers, about all the potential recipes that you could cook with this delicious fresh produce. That's it. I hope that was useful. And if you have any other topics, life scenarios that you would like an Italian language lesson on, do let us know in the comments. I have done so many of these. I've done, booking a restaurant and how to date, and what else have I done? At the beach in the summer. There's coffee, yes, how to order beverages in a cafe. I did just start as a beginner, just when you arrive and speaking about yourself as a tourist. I'm trying to think what other scenarios you would like or would be useful as a tourist or as someone who's just moving here for the first time.
Ice cream place.
At the gelateria. Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Most important thing.
It is. It is the most important thing. I feel like, you know what, the gelaterias though, they're so accustomed to tourists and they just want to get through you really quickly. So if you start there just being like, they're trying to say un cono, then they're like, hurry up, signora. But yeah, the gelateria would be a good one. In fact, we should actually go and film that in a gelateria. Don't you think, Amore?
Yeah.
Now that I'm on my no sugar, by the way, if anyone saw last week's episode, I should say what I do each year is just try to detox from sugar, so it's not like off sugar forever. I just try to detox because I find it just regulates everything and gets my body back to normal, and then I can go and gradually add sweets back into my diet. But it's just something I like to do once a year, just to and also particularly now because the doctor's saying it's also good for the breast milk. So yes, that's all. Thank you very much to my patrons for supporting this channel, and thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. There's been so many people subscribing now. I don't know if it's because I'm so you never know if I'm going to publish on a Friday or a Saturday or what time because it's so erratic, but that's all the more reason for you to click that subscribe button and the little bell. And thank you if you have subscribed. I will see you next time. Alla prossima. And we have lots to show you. Oh, by the way, happy Easter, Buona Pasqua. I hope you have a beautiful, restful weekend and get down to that market and get yourself some fresh fruit and vegetables.